faced with the hardest decision anyone would ever have to make. Do I want to live? Do I want to die? Well, that's pretty much limited the options, right? The doctor had literally just come into the room and said, Mr. Jones, I hate to break this to you, but you have less than a year to live. How do you process that? You have less than a year to live? Well, when I think about it, it made sense, not at the time, but in hindsight, it made perfect sense that I was being abused and didn't realize I was being abused. I had been confused about what abuse was because society, family, no one had told me that a man can be abused, but that's exactly what was happening to me. Well, once I collected myself and asked the doctor, well, what do I need to do? Because I don't want to die, Doc. I want to live. He said, well, Mr. Jones, it's very likely that you can, but you're going to have to make some major changes in your life. And you're going to need to make those changes really fast. See, that was the catalyst right there. In that moment, I decided that I wanted to live. And up to that point, I thought life was great. I thought I was doing okay, but my body was saying otherwise. I hadn't listened to my body at all. It was overweight. It was producing cancer-like symptoms. I had 7 kidney stones in one kidney and 10 in the other kidney, and they were too large to pass, so my body started turning on itself. Why? Because of stress. Well, I decided that I don't want that. I want to live. I spent a large part of my life trying to please others, trying to make them happy, and now I was going to be a little selfish. I was going to focus on me, forget what I'd learned in childhood and adulthood and manhood. I don't believe that anymore because it's those ideals that was killing me. I decided that I was going to try a different way. And for me, I said, God, I don't want to die, so I'm going to trust you. I want to do everything I can to live, but who helped me first and foremost? I thank Dr. Cohen. Dr. Cohen was a genius. He went and he opened up his pad and he wrote a prescription for me. He slid it over to me. He said, I want you to follow this. I want you to take this medicine every day. He prescribed me Latin jazz for 1 hour a day, every day. And I started with that. He said, Mr. Jones, you need to lighten up. You need to smile. You need to laugh. You need to enjoy this life that you have. And I took that to heart. I went home. I called my dad, and in tears, I said, Father, I don't know what to do. He said, son, write down all the things that stress you out and make a plan to eliminate them out of your life completely. Well, needless to say, I did that. And my life changed. It changed for the better. I learned so much about myself, and I learned that I can be happy and enjoy. And the Latin jazz piece stuck with me too. I love it. Every morning, 1 hour of Latin jazz, and I started picking up new habits to make me happy. See, my life was pretty much plain, and not anymore, right? I make a point to add my own beauty. Yeah, I take it with me. And sometimes I like to pretend that I can play. No, I can't really play, but it's a new journey for me. I learned to lighten up. I learned to laugh at myself, and that's what I will continue to do. I hope you will join me in making a big difference in what it is you believe you can do, and not what others are telling you that you can do. Make your own beauty if there's no beauty around you. I've helped several men overcome abuse and unhealthy relationships, and that's my contribution to living. I want them to live as well.